last September, Yasmani Petit flirted with Major League history, but he missed a perfect game by a mere inches. And now Petit is on the verge of history again. The right-hander from Venezuela has set down 38 straight and could set a record when he takes the mound today. Giants, Rockies, and it's coming up next. Day baseball here at AT&T Park, and we love it. This is Game 4 of this 4-game series, Giants and Rockies. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me, as always, is Mike Krukow. Well, the Giants took it on the chin on Monday. They come back. They win the next 2 games, and today's an interesting game. Look, they want to win 3 in a row, but there's other things going on with Yasmani Petit. Explain.
Well, it's an opportunity for another big adrenaline game. Yasmani Petit comes in with a chance to break a Major League record that's been around, well, since the Major Leagues have been around. If he goes 7 consecutive hitters and he gets them out in a row to start the game, he'll tie the record. 8, he breaks it. We'll be watching very closely. But the story really, it starts before this opportunity, and that's how well he's pitched to earn this right to have a start. And I think the Giants, coming off 2 very emotional games, are looking for a contribution from Petit to give them a chance to win and perhaps maybe write a little history and maybe keep this adrenaline thing going. Absolutely. Take the series and then welcome in the Brewers tomorrow night. All right, stay tuned. We'll take you to our Comcast Sportsnet studios for an update, and we'll do that right after this.
broadcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, try Jack's Spicy Chicken Club Combo for just $4.99 plus tax. And by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
After a couple of big wins, your San Francisco Giants have a chance to win this 4-game series today against the Rockies. And, of course, they're coming off a very exciting walk-off win last night. But we've got some exciting stuff to talk about today as well. Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Amy Gutierrez, and tomorrow marks the anniversary of our own Dwayne Kuiper's only Major League home run. It came when he was with the Cleveland Indians on August 29th, 1977. And we have had a ton of fun watching hundreds and hundreds of entries come in for our Call Kuip's Shot contest. And today, you're going to get a look at the winner. It's Ben Hernandez, and here is his call.
Beautiful August night here at Municipal Stadium. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Dwayne Kuiper, and it's a cannon shot to the right field fence. Back goes Nordhagen, way back to the wall, and this one is gone, ladies and gentlemen. And like Halley's Comet, you only see a home run like that once in a lifetime.
It was once in a lifetime for our own Dwayne Kuiper. Good job, Ben. We love the fedora, the bow tie, and tomorrow Ben will be here. He gets to hang out with Kruk and Kuip, and he wins a bobblehead. It's all worth it. All right, Game 4, the finale, coming up shortly. Yusmeiro Petit will be on the hill. Kruk and Kuip will have lineups first pitch right after these messages.
Giants to take the field to wrap up this 4-game series. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. Come on. The admission-free boardwalk is now open every day. 68 degrees here at the yard. We have winds at 8 miles per hour. Humidity at 68%. And we have a clear afternoon for Giants baseball. Let's take a look at Walt Weiss's lineup. It'll be Charlie Blackmon in the leadoff spot, and you can see his numbers against the Giants. Followed by DJ LeMahieu, usually hits 8th, today 2nd. It'll be Morneau and then Arenado Dickerson hit his 20th last night. He's hitting 5th. Then it's Barnes, and the next two guys are former Giants. It's Jackson Williams and Charlie Culberson, 7th and 8th, and Lyles will pitch and bat 9th.
Well, an absolute perfect day for baseball with a slight breeze going out to right field. It's an unusual wind that we normally see here. Going out to right, which means there'll be some carry to that side of the field. On the hill today for the Giants will be Yusmeiro Petit. Trying to take advantage of that wind. Take a look at the numbers for Petit. This will be start number 7. He's 3-3 with a 3.59 ERA. He has retired 38 consecutive batters over his last 7 appearances, 6 in relief. He's just 7 away from matching the major league record of 45 set by Mark Burley with the White Sox in 2009. National League records 41 set by former Giant and former roommate Jim Barr, and he did that in 1972. The way he gets it done is with impeccable command. He is a control specialist. He will shave the strike zones with 2 types of fastball movement, 4-seam and 2-seam. He's got a nice tight little slider with a straight down bite, very quick. He's also got a curve and a changeup. Defensively, setting it up behind Yusmeiro Petit. Giants are going to do this. They're going to have Blanco, Pagan, Pence. That's your outfield. Michael Morse getting a day off. Duffy Sandoval on the left side of the infield. Crawford a second day off in a row. Joe Panik joined by Buster Posey on the right side, and Andrew Susak will be in the squad putting down the signs. Time now for our Nissan keys to the game. 8 more outs. That's right. He's flirting with major league record that's been around. Well, how long has the big leagues been around? Long time. And he's got a chance to put his name on top. He'll need 8 more outs to do just that. And stay hot, Buster Posey. Last 7 games, 5 home runs, 10 RBIs, hitting .484. He has been carrying this club, and those are our Nissan keys to the game.
So here we go. Giants have won 2 out of 3 in this series, and they have won the last 2. Losing on Monday night 3-2. Winning last night 4-2. So here's Charlie Blackmon. He's got 1 hit and 9 at bats in this series. And Petit will pitch out of the stretch. And the first pitch of the ball game is a called strike. So we get started 1 minute late, and it's no balls and 1 strike. On deck is DJ LeMahieu. And Petit now kicks and deals, and Blackmon fouls it out of play. It's 0-2. Petit has won a game in relief against the Rockies this year. On deck, LeMahieu, followed by Justin Morneau. And Blackmon had a pretty good pitch to hit right there, and he had a pretty good swing at it.
Well, a little bit too much strike zone on the 0-2 count. Out of the corner, but a little bit up. If you're going to go out of the corner, you got to lower that thing. Marvin Hudson, the plate umpire, is basically a low ball umpire. He at times can be inconsistent. At times he can be very, very good. We've seen him go both ways, but he does prefer the low pitch.
Hit out to Hunter Pence, and Pence puts it away. And that's how this game gets started. Mike mentioned Marvin Hudson behind the dish. It's Eddings, Blazer, and Jim Joyce from first to third. Jim Joyce, who was behind the plate last night, is the crew chief. Here's LeMahieu. LeMahieu hitting at .267. And he takes a pitch high and wide. Had 2 hits on Monday. Did not play in the game on Tuesday and came back with a hit in the game last night. So 3 hits in the series. Right there on the inside corner. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. In the series, take a look what the starters have done.
0.75 ERA, 26 strikeouts, and really have taken a lot of pressure off a tired bullpen. Bullpen should be very rested today.
1 and 2. Why do you think he gets so many swing and misses at 89 miles an hour?
Well, I think it's his arm action. You know, he doesn't have long arms, and because of that, it's a very small arc and a very quick arm action. And I think guys expect more, or perhaps they expect less, and the ball just gets on them quickly. I mean, it's real quick arm action. I mean, it's deceptive.
Fouled out of play.
Right now, he has not got it going with the release point. I mean, he's in the strike zone, but not where he needs to be in the strike zone. He's not the type of guy that can just miss out over the plate in the heart of the strike zone. He has to be on the corners. You know, anything that's different from the norm, it can upset the timing of a hitter. And I believe because of the length of his arm and the quickness of his arm action, he sets himself apart from normal guys.
Got him.
And that's a perfect breaking ball right on the outside corner. He's got 2. He's got a curveball and he's got a slider. And they're both quick. Likes that first base side of the rubber. Not a whole lot of movement. Very compact delivery. Gets right out front over the foot of his plant step. And that's our X Moments, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Good opportunity to see the spin on the breaking ball and how perfectly placed it was to the glove.
Here's Justin Morneau, who takes wide. Andrew Susac doing the honors today behind the dish. Morneau does have 4 hits in the series. He has been a tough out. He had the game-tying double in the 9th inning last night. 2-0. A bit of an overthrow.
If you notice, Petit always in the stretch position. And I think for guys who have to come out of the bullpen, it's just one less thing to worry about, having one motion, not 2. Not a motion, a wind-up delivery and a delivery out of the stretch. Just eliminate one, makes you more consistent.
Swing.
And the other thing, too, is where Petit is in the bullpen. I mean, he's a swingman. He makes spot starts, but he's also a guy that will come into an existing inning. And when you come into an existing inning, you want to be comfortable in the motion that you're going to be coming into that situation with. And for a relief pitcher, that's the stretch. You see a lot of guys do that. Petit, no exception. He's always done this.
3 balls and 1 strike. So Petit now has to come in.
A walk would end the streak.
Three and 2, and that may have been ball 4. Three and 2 to Morneau. 0 for 3 lifetime against Petit. Out of play. Went right at him. Way off the line at third is Sandoval, and the entire left side of the infield playing Morneau to pull. Outfield pretty much straight away. Pagan a few steps towards the gap. 3 and 2. And he threw him an off-speed pitch. He's got the kitchen sink going at him right now. Should Morneau reach, it would be Arenado who's on deck. And another 3-2 pitch. Here it is. And he hits it into center field, and Pagan's got room. And he puts it away. That ties the National League record for consecutive batters retired. And it'll be Pagan, Panik, and Posey coming up. And now it's time for the Giants facing Jordan Lyles. This will be Bruce Bochy's lineup. It's different, so check it out. It'll be Pagan in the leadoff spot. That's usual, but look who's hitting second. It's Joe Panik. Buster Posey's red hot, and he is red hot. 3 home runs in this series. Giants have scored 9 runs in this series, and Posey's knocked in 7 of those 9. Sandoval, Pence, and Blanco. Susak's going to hit 7th, Duffy 8th, Petit 9th.
On the hill today for the Rockies will be Jordan Lyles. Lyles, a 24-year-old right-hander, 6'4", 215-pounder. And for Lyles, he's in his 3rd year at the big league level. This is a 17 start. He's got a nice year going, 6-1 with a 4.05 ERA. Got a real lazy arm delivery. Fastball, curveball, slider, split. And his velocity will go low 90s. Occasionally he'll hit a nerve and he'll go right down at 94 or so, but for the most part he's between 90 and 92. 2 types of fastball movement.
Right now he's behind 2-0. Pagan 2 for 12 in the series. Like he was taking all the way, and Marvin Hudson says, all right, that's a strike. Panik and Posey here in the first. And a little low, 3-1. Giants to take a walk.
They will take anything they can get to start an inning and put Jordan Lyles in the stretch.
Tap slowly. Lyles is going to take it himself, so Pagan's retired.
Let's take a look at the Rockies defense playing behind Jordan Lyles today. Starting in the Rockies outfield from left to right, it'll be Dickerson, Blackman, and Barnes. Culberson and Arenado on the left side of the infield. LeMahieu and Morneau on the right side. And Jackson Williams will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Joe Panik. See, his last 11 games have been good ones. Facing Jordan Lyles at the major league level for the first time. And he takes in tight. 1 ball and no strikes. Did not see it coming, at least out of spring training, that games that need to be won by the Giants at the end of August, your double play combination are two kids from the minor leagues. Two good ones, I might add.
Well, and that's so unusual given the weight of each game for a number of reasons. Obviously, the pressure of being able to perform in that environment, but two, strength level wise.
Hit right back to Lyles. 2 outs.
You have to remember that minor league seasons are going to end this weekend. They'll extend into the playoffs if you've had a good year, but for the most part, seasons are over. The first time you get into a September as a minor league player, that's a culture shock. You really have to be disciplined. You have to have done your homework. You got to be strong. And these two guys, Panic and Duffy, are playing great ball right now.
Yes, they are. So here's Posey, now in the 290s. Doesn't waste any time as he comes out swinging.
Well, Buster Posey's our Togo's big play the Togo's way. His second career walk-off, and he did it last night against Juan Nicasio. And the location of the pitch, for him to stay inside that pitch and do this is what had all the ball players talking about it today. The guy is completely locked in. Very tough to jam right now. And that's our Togo's big play the Togo's way.
And a strike. It's 1-2. See what he's done the last 7 games.
Well, hitting 484 with 5 big flies and 10 RBIs. And hitting with runners in scoring position, it's been automatic. So the goal today for the Giants is set it up for the hot hand.
Two and two to Buster Posey. Sandoval on deck. Off the end of the bat. Roll to LeMahieu. And that'll end the inning. So a nice inning. 3 ground balls for Lyles. Petit will come back out. Arenado to lead things off.
Brought to you by Big O Tires. Tires, service, straight talk. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
No score, second inning. Here's Nolan Arenado. Arenado takes a pitch wide. He's hitting .302, 3 for 10 lifetime against Yasmero Petit. Corey Dickerson to follow. Hit well to center field again. Room for Pagan. One out. So that is now a National League record as Petit passes Jim Barr. That's 42 in a row. And here's Dickerson. I don't believe they're going to stop the game if this happens.
Well, Petit threw the ball out, and Marvin Hudson apparently didn't know what the deal was, and he put his hands on his hits immediately as if to say, what are you doing throwing the balls out? That's my job. So it is a souvenir that will go on the mantle and the trophy case of Yusmeiro Petit.
Well, can somebody send Marvin a memo?
Yeah, read a newspaper once in a while.
Here's Dickerson. And Dickerson lost something on that swing and a miss. Was that a thumb guard or?
Could have been two vertebrae the way he swung. He had home run number 20 last night. The only run scored off Tim Hudson. And it really wasn't a bad pitch. Middled in at the belt and put it in the pond. The 100th ball ever hit in McCovey Cove.
And a strike. It's 0-2.
Immediate rubberneck from Dickerson looking back at Marvin Hudson on that call. He thought it was wide. But if you're Petit and you're getting that call, you got to go back out there.
Absolutely.
And you're going to find out a lot about Andrew Susac right now as to what he calls, what location. He called 4 pitches and finally Petit got him to go back outside with that fastball.
That close, 1-2.
And that's what you learn as a catcher. You learn those little things like when an umpire gives you an extra 2 or 3 inches on the outside part of the plate, you keep going out there. If it's a strike that's not that you're going to get when you don't have to get in the strike zone, you keep calling it.
Got him. Susac. 43 in a row.
Well, the Giants are in the thick of another playoff race for October baseball. And if you're looking for access to Giants postseason tickets, here's how you do it. You get on deck right now and you become a 2015 Giants season ticket holder. Your $500 deposit will give you the opportunity to purchase all the potential Division Series home playoff games and a possible wild card play-in game. Giants reps are standing by. Call 415-972-2298 or go to sfgiants.com/season.
So here's Brandon Barnes. Barnes takes a strike. As Petit just throws him right down the pipe. He's in a bit of a rut over the last 12 games. 0-2.
That's the pitch that's giving him trouble right now. He's not seeing the spin on the breaking ball. We watched him taking a bat last night against Tim Hudson and struck out on 3 consecutive sliders off the plate away and never saw him. And this is just an absolutely perfect breaking ball. You cannot locate any better than that. Go right back out there again.
And this time Barnes with the extendo bat just got a piece. No balls and 2 strikes.
Perfect 0-2 pitch. Same slider. And this time Barnes lays off and Giants don't get the call. Very close. But I mean, it's just an absolute perfect 0-2 pitch. That's what you want. You want one that falls out of the strike zone.
Two and two.
Do a slider on the outside corner, but put it down below the strike zone. right on the corner, and he'll swing at it. Petit wants fastball away.
Got him. 44 straight. One away from a tie. Sandoval to lead things off.
To win a Coors Light Refresherator every time the Giants hit a home run at AT&T Park. Text REFRESH to 49375.
No score as we head to the bottom of inning number 2. And it'll be Pablo Sandoval to lead things off. Yeah, the authenticator's at work. Here's the pitch to Sandoval, and it's a strike on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike.
The authenticator sits here at every game, and he'll take the ball that was actually in the game, and he'll put a little mark, and they'll register it as an authentic souvenir of the moment. And with Petit breaking the National League record held by Jim Bars since 1972, well, that's a pretty significant record. Now, every time he records another out, he basically breaks his own record, and they're saving each ball because of its historical significance.
And a base hit to left field for Sandoval. All right, let's check in for the first time today with Amy G. Amy.
All right, guys, the baby giraffe has a new baby. Brandon Belt and his wife Haley welcomed in Grayson Ellis last night. Oh my goodness, 10 pounds. Way to go, Haley. That's tough. 20.5 inches long. All are doing very well and understandably very tired. Welcome to the world, Grayson, guys.
Well, congratulations to the Belts. Babe.
That 10-pounder.
There we go.
Oh, my word.
Here's Hunter Pence. And the pitch looked pretty good, but called the ball.
Well,
life has changed for the Belts.
That little guy has come into a great world because the Belts are a fantastic couple.
They're fun. 2 balls and no strikes.
Great support system with in-laws back in Texas.
Plus, you get to grow up in a zoo. What could be better than that?
That's right. And someday he'll say, Dad, why do they call you the baby giraffe?
I say, well, it's hard to explain. Broken bat, pop up left field, and going out is Culberson. And that'll bring up Gregor Blanco. Blanco hitting .248.
Been hot though. The last 10 games he's been putting up good numbers. 3 extra base hits.
First pitch is wide. 1 ball and no strike. Susak is yet to come out of the dugout. There it comes. Two and 0. So Lyles falls behind to Blanco. And a strike. So it's 2 and 1. Blanco may have been taking all the way. Hard to tell. Morneau holding on Sandoval. And there's a soft toss. Sandoval's not going anywhere. The 2-1 to Blanco. Swinging a drive. Right field deep. It is out of here. And the Giants take a 2-0 lead. Like Mr. Blanco wants to play a little bit more, huh?
Keeps doing that. He's going to play some more.
Home run number 3.
Take a look at the swing. It's like a little slider that just doesn't do a lot. Just a backup slider right over the middle of the plate. And he takes full advantage of the location mistake. See ya.
To the back row. Here's Susak. Susak goes around and it's no balls and 1 strike.
Take a look at the swing. And it always starts with the same thing. Good foundation to get yourself in position for a power point. If you get a lot of drive that back leg, he's got a compact swing. He's not a big guy, but he's got some pop. And he just showed you.
He does have some pop. Problem with Gregor is once he hits one, he starts to swing for him.
Well, that has been true for a long time for a lot of guys who aren't quite tall in stature.
2 and 1 now to Susak.
Because they know general managers dig the long ball.
Well, he plays for a guy that does, but he also knows that Bruce Bochy would like him to take advantage of his speed as well. Susak gets jammed and he rolls it to Pagan. It's 2 and 2. Susak out swinging on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. 2 outs. First strikeout for Lyles, and here's Duffy.
I think Lyles sneaky. I mean, he's got a real lazy arm action that just kind of puts you to sleep, and then boom, he's got that low 90s velocity that can get on you very quick. Plus, he's got sink. I don't think he can throw the ball real straight.
Here's Duffy. Matt Duffy, 2 for 3 last night. Drew a walk. Was on base 3 times. Bounces this one to deep third for Arenado. And he's got a cannon, and that'll end the inning. Giants on the board. Blanco is 3rd home run of the year. Not quite in the pond, but pretty close. It's bye-bye baby, and it's 2-0 Giants. A visual of where Yasmerdo Petit stands as he's chasing this most consecutive batters retired record. He's got 44. Burley's got the record with 45. And it's going to be, ironically, a guy that doesn't have a big league hit yet that's coming up.
Well, that's irony. Jackson Williams, former first-round pick with the Giants, just activated yesterday. And he's going to try and ruin the party. There's his numbers, 256 with 4 home runs. AAA.
And he takes a strike. Major League service, it says on the board, 4 days.
4 days.
On a play, 0-2. It may be down the road in the past couple of years that Jackson Williams caught Yasmerdo Petit. It's very well possible. Certainly in spring training as well.
Well, the world of baseball is a small world, and paths cross all the time in that way.
Williams started to go, but held up. It's 1-2. Petit sets. Got him. And that ties the record.
Forced strikeout from Petit.
And I think I'm watching the authenticators. They want the ball.
Well, every time he puts another out up there, he's setting a new record in the National League. And now he's going for the Major League record.
And it's Charlie Culberson. And a swing and a miss. No balls in 1 strike.
I mean, it's got to be a weird adrenaline for Petit. He obviously knows what's at stake here. But it's the 3rd inning. And to get that kind of an adrenaline surge early in a game's got to be a little bit of a strange sensation.
Popped out of play. It's 0-2.
Petit, who a year ago came with 1 out of throwing a perfect game. It ended with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Eric Chavez came in as a pinch hitter and spoiled the night for Petit. So he has a history of stringing together some perfection.
Just outside, 1-2.
Oh boy, by about the width of a ball and a half. Clearly one he wanted. Set that target in the outside corner, and he hardly had to move the glove. Don't get big corners with Hudson. Plate umpire.
Got him. And that's the new record. 46 consecutive batters retired. And he's retired 8 in a row to start out this game.
How cool is that? We're not talking about San Francisco record, National League record. We're talking about a Major League Baseball record.
And now this crowd is going to stand to show their appreciation. You're right, it's a Major League record.
He's a tip his cap. But hey, he's all business, and it is the 3rd inning. That's why it's a little different. But a very cool moment for Yusmeiro Petit.
And Lyles takes a strike.
So why not just keep adding to it?
Lyles not a bad hitter, 7 for 35. And he wraps one down the left field line, and he's got a base hit. And Lyles has got himself a 2-out double. How about that?
Well, you don't think it's going to be the pitcher that breaks your streak. But you know what? Doesn't matter.
He got the record.
He got the record. Nice going, Yusmeiro Petit.
Blackman hit the ball extremely hard in the first inning. He lined out to Hunter Pence. There's the record. That's the ball. Very cool.
Yeah, it is.
It's like it should be in a velvet box or something.
That's a lot of outs in a row, man. That's fantastic.
Low to Blackman.
Now you got to regroup and get back to the matter at hand.
Blackman off the end of the bat. It's going to fall. Here's Blanco's throw. It's a good one, and they did not get him. Did Susac not catch the ball? I couldn't tell from here.
Well, John's going to have a look, and so are we. One hopper. Petit kind of got right in the way. This should give us some truth. Safe.
Yeah, he made it. So it'll be an RBI for Blackman. Nice play by Susac. It was a little bit of an in-between hop. On the throw, Blackman goes down to second. And here's LeMahieu. And it's down low to LeMahieu. Petit takes a peek. And this is popped up. Duffy. Side retired. The Rockies on the board. A 2-out double and a single. And for the Giants, they'll have Petit, Pagan, and Panic coming up.
In 1970, that's when Juan Marichal posted his 200th Major League victory by stopping the Pirates 5-1. The win, his 7th straight, helped Marichal to become the only post-World War II pitcher to win 200 games within 11 years. The Dominican dandy, Juan Marichal. And that's your McDonald's True Stories.
A 2-1 lead for the Giants as Yosmedo Petit's going to lead things off. Petit 0 for 14. And a little bit of a step in the bucket, and it's no balls and 1 strike. On deck is Pagan. The difference in the game, Gregor Blanco, a 2-run home run in the 2nd inning. Down low, 2 balls and a strike. Well, now Lyles has got to come in. It's 3-1. Dave Fleming is on assignment. John Miller, he will be coming over in innings 4, 5, and 6. It's 3-2, so John will be in. I'll head over to the KNBR side. Actually, Dave is doing a football game tomorrow night. And Petit just swung at ball 4.
2nd strikeout for Lyles.
So here's Pagan. Pagan hit back to the pitcher. When he opened up the bottom of the 1st. He looks at a strike.
Good changeup right there. Might see a few more of those changeups this time through the lineup.
And that squirts to the backstop and then over the backstop. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck is Joe Panik. Two and one.
Lyles, like a lot of sinker ballers, he likes a quick pace. You get in that batter's box, you better be ready to go. He's not Jimmy jacking around. He's coming right at you.
3 and 1. The 3-1 and a line drive into center field, a base hit. So Pagan, who bounced out on a 3-1 pitch in the first, does not do that here in the third.
Well, the 2014 Giant Race has a limited number of registrations still available before reaching its 3rd straight sellout. All finishers of the 2014 San Francisco Giant Race half marathon, 10K and 5K races will be awarded a medal featuring Lucille with replica Matt Cain autograph. 2014 San Francisco Giant Race will take place on September 7th, 2014, and will finish on the field right here at AT&T Park. So register right now at giantrace.com.
Here's Panik. Pagan leaning, and now Lyle steps off the slab. And a drive to right. And Barnes is going to track it down. His throw back in is not in time, so Panik hit it well, 2 outs. Tell you what, there are a lot of defenses that would have never had their right fielder even get close to catching the ball.
It just looks nice to see a few balls get pulled to right field by left-handed hitters today. Remember Gregor Blanco's home run pulled, and now this one by Panik hit right on the screws. And it turns out to be a big league hang with him. Nevertheless, a nice at bat for Joe Panik.
Here's Buster Posey. So Lyle's at the belt. And Buster Posey pops back and out of play.
Kind of a missed location right there. Rockies set that corner in that target in the outside corner. Came all the way across the plate to middle end. There's Marty Cohn. Hard, Marty. He's a good one.
No balls and a strike to Buster Posey. Pulled on the ground, foul. Pagan started to go, but then put on the brakes. All right. A happy person?
Oh, yeah. You cannot sit there without a smile on your face with a foul ball in your hand. It's impossible.
It's a happy person.
Yeah, that's happiness right there. That's a good little sister right there.
Posey fights off a really tough pitch. You'll see another one. It's 0-2. Sandoval on deck. Should Posey extend the inning? Slowly on the ground to Arenado. And that'll end the inning. John Miller will be in. I'll see you back here in the 7th inning here at AT&T Park. Giants 2, Rockies 1.
Close, but you can own a piece of Candlestick Park forever. The orange and red historic seats are on sale now for $7.49 a pair, and for a limited time, seats can be autographed by Candlestick Park legends such as Mays, McCovey, Montana, Rice, and others. Get all the information at sfgiants.com/Candlestick Memories. It is 2-1. We're at the top of the 4th inning. Here to tell you all about it, John Miller.
All right, and the first pitch hit high in the air into right field, and Hunter Pence over to grab it, and just like that, one away. He got another streak going now. That's 2 in a row retired by Petit.
Well, not quite as dramatic as each consecutive out recorded in the first couple innings of this game were, but what a great moment for this guy. You know, he's worked hard his whole career and had to be up and down. He's had to be the swing man, and now he puts together a streak that sets a major league record, a day he'll never forget.
So here is Nolan Arenado, and earlier having broken the National League record, which was set by a Giant, Jim Barr. Barr held that record for 42 years, all the way back in 1972. It was a 2-game period. He did it differently than Petit did. Petit's first batter retired in that streak of 46 consecutive batters retired was the final out of his previous start. Paddock has no play and never really picked it up anyway. Arenado safe at first. Man, he crushed that ball right at Paddock.
It's got to be a base hit too, because of how hard that ball was hit. I mean, Arenado got every bit of that. And you're a middle infielder, well, any kind of an infielder, and you get a one-hop top spinner coming at you at that speed. I mean, he did well just to stop it. That is not your normal play.
So that's the 3rd hit for Colorado, and here is Dickerson, another tough hitter. When Jim Barr had this streak back in 1972, he retired the last 21 Pittsburgh Pirates he faced in a game August 23rd. Back to the bag is Arenado. Then he took the mound 6 days later in another start against the Cardinals, and retired a whole bunch of Cardinals, 20 in a row. Barr was actually told by the late Jack Buck, the Hall of Fame broadcaster of the Cardinals, that he had broken Harvey Haddock's existing record of 38 consecutive hitters retired. And Barr said when he was told that, he didn't know how to react to it. He said, "What did I do? I won 2 games in a row, or 2 complete games in a row. What's the record? What did I do?"
Say it again.
He said he knew he got a fair number of guys out in the game, but I never put the 2 games together in his own mind. So it was not a record at that time that people kept real close track of. Dickerson, Buster's got it. There's one. Duffy back to first, and a wild throw that's right off the screen in front of the dugout. The ricochet played by Susac. So Dickerson is safe at first.
Well, you watch this play by Buster Posey, you think he plays first base every day. Nice backhander on the run, flips a perfect strike to Duffy, who comes across the bag and throws wide. The Giants catch a break that it didn't go into the dugout of the Rockies. You're throwing at a moving target. I'm not really sure what caused him to miss his target by 15 feet, but
just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside. Backed up nicely there by Susac.
And it also appeared it was no sure thing he was going to get the double play, even if had the throw been right there in the bag. Dickerson runs well. Here's Barnes, another fast runner. He takes ball 1. Anyway, Jim Barr, who had the Giants all-time record by extension, I guess, since he had the National League record for all those years. And then Mark Burley, his record of 45 consecutive batters retired. That was the same thing. It was a couple of starts. One of them was his perfect game. So Petit put the record together that is now #1 on the all-time list, but he did it in a much different way, mostly out of the bullpen. When he started that stretch of 46 batters in a row retired, it was getting the final out in the 5th inning of a game in Philadelphia, and it was a bad inning. He gave up 3 runs and 4 hits in the inning, and that was a start. And it was not a good start for him. He gave up 5 runs in 5 innings, was taken out of the game. The Giants eventually won it in 14 innings. And ironically, the game where he started that consecutive out streak, Tim Lincecum ended up coming in from the bullpen to get the save. There's a ball off the outside as Barnes had shown bunt. And then he started doing it as a reliever. 6 straight relief appearances. And all perfect. Several times 2 innings. One time, just this past Saturday, 4 1/3 perfect innings in Washington against the red hot Nationals. And then today is the starter. And so when all that time where nobody could get a hit against him, it's the opposing pitcher who breaks it all up.
That's so baseball. How about the 1 2-inning appearance? I think it was in Chicago where he faced 6 guys, struck out 5.
Last Thursday in the resumption of play of the suspended game.
I mean, he's done some remarkable things in the stretch. And he's not a guy that is a total power guy. I mean, he's a guy that is a finesse guy. He has to rely on good location.
There goes the runner. The throw by Susac. The tag. Out! Quite a throw there by Andrew Susac. And we go to the last of the 4th. Sandoval coming up.
without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
It is 2-1 Giants as we head to the last of the fourth inning.
All right, time now for a forward right choice, and watch the mechanics of Andrew Susac. Very compact delivery and an absolute strike to Joe Panik to shut down Corey Dickerson. And it helps to have a middle infielder who's not afraid of contact down there, putting the tag on. One more look at perfection. Just a great unload time from Susac, who mechanically could not have executed any better. That's our forward right choice.
And really, if it had not been a perfect throw, then he may not have gotten him. It was that close. As you can see, there's ball one to Pablo Sandoval, who ripped a single into left field on an 0-2 pitch his first time, and that started a 2-run rally. That will go out of play off the third base side.
Now watch the back foot drop up, and it's a straight line. The stride step straight from his right foot, where he pushes off to it. His stride step is like an arrow right to second base. And that's significant. If you drop your back foot, and it's...
Here's Arenado over at shortstop. Right there.
Wow, we're seeing some kind of defense today. These guys are putting on a clinic. Another beautiful play. And that's kind of been the way that this game has been played. This series has been played since the Giants have come home. Arenado, a Gold Glover, going way to his left. And once he gets his hands on it and gets in position to throw, you're done. And a great arm.
And Arenado and Pablo may be the defensively two best third basemen in the league right now. And I think if you ask most people, Arenado certainly the Gold Glover, and he'd get most people's vote as the best. However, for this year so far, not only has Pablo been making all the plays, and maybe not always as flashily as does Arenado, but Pablo's only made 7 errors all year, and he's played 33 more games than Arenado, who's made 15 errors. So 0-2 the count. Maybe Arenado's got more range, maybe he's got this and that, but Pablo is right there. And if Pablo gets it this year, you're shocked if he ends up dropping it or not making the play. He has been as reliable as they come.
Well, it's been a joy to watch Sandoval play third base this year. I mean, he's been so consistent.
That's all for Hunter Pence. 2 down. Now let's go to Amy G.
All right, John, pretty special night for Bruce Bochy last night. He earned his 1,600th managerial win. He is now 19th on the all-time victories list. He had a lot to say. We picked out a small portion, a funny portion, of course, from Bruce Bochy. I would have liked this one to be a little easier. I got a few more gray hairs. He also went on to say a lot of people have helped him along the way, and he has not forgotten about that. He feels very blessed. That is our Geico quote of the game. John?
All right, thanks, Amy. As usual, self-deprecating remark after a great accomplishment by Bruce Bochy. Blanco takes ball one.
Last night, the coaches got together in Bruce Bochy's office, and they had a little toast for the skipper. I mean, it was a nice milestone evening for the Giants.
It's Tim Flannery right behind Bochy, wearing Bruce Bochy's cap.
Oh yeah, there's Bochy's.
Hey, if you're wondering who's that 10-year-old right behind Bruce Bochy.
Now Bruce Bochy's got about an 8 3/4 head right here, and there's Flannery putting on the skipper's hat. So, and one of the great parts about playing here in San Francisco is when you celebrate and have a toast, you're going to be drinking good wine from the greatest wine country in the world. That's my humble opinion.
Well, and he appreciates it. He's a little bit of a connoisseur, and it's not a rare occasion for him when the Giants have a day off during the season to head up to the Napa Valley. And that's all for Blanco and the Giants who go down in order. So Blanco homered his last time, down swinging this time. 2-1 Giants on to the 5th.
By Play Flag Football. Register your child today at playflagfootball.com.
From AT&T Park, the Giants holding a 2-1 lead over Colorado as we head into the 5th inning. I'm John Miller along with Mike Krukow. Dwayne Kuiper is over on the radio side presently. And Brandon Barnes, who was at the plate when Dickerson got cut down trying to steal. And a great throw by Andrew Susac to end the 4th inning. So Barnes will try it again here. And it's 0-1. Barnes struck out looking to end the 2nd inning in his only other at bat. Yusmeiro Petit with Barnes, Jackson Williams, and then Charlie Culberson, the 3 do-ups for the Rockies here. Each team with 3 hits in the game. And the curveball of beauty. It's 0-2.
I think if you had to talk about any one thing during this great streak that Yusmeiro Petit has been on, it's been the command of his curveball and slider. They've been outstanding. They've been very quick, very sharp breaking, and his location to him it's been uncanny as to how consistent he's been to that low outside location to right-handers.
Just off the outside.
Now, Marvin Hudson's not an umpire that gives a lot of width on either side of the plate. You will see belt high strikes, more knee highs than belt highs, but he will give the high strike, but he just doesn't give a lot of corners. And he's been very consistent with his zone today.
Did he swing? Yes. Susac retrieves the ball and throws out Barnes. And I'd like to see that rule tightened up a little bit. A guy is he is entitled to know if they've ruled it a swing immediately. So, but in that case, it was Hudson who quickly pointed at the first base umpire Eddings, and then Eddings said, yeah, that's a swing.
Let's take a look. Did he go? That's close. 50-50 there. So a break for Petit. And there is the delay that you're talking about that Barnes had. Didn't get a very good step out there, and he's fast. I mean, he could have made it a little bit closer. I doubt if he'd have been safe, but still, be a nice rule change.
Well, I think it's just the batter's entitled to know. Right up the middle by Jackson Williams, and the former Giants farmhand making his first major league start, gets his first major league hit. Williams is always considered an excellent defensive catcher. Blocking the ball, good arm. But there was always a question about his hitting. So that has to be especially satisfying for him in his first major league start right here in the ballpark that he aspired to play in, to get it against his old team, his old organization.
Yeah, it has to feel pretty good. Waited a long time for that hit.
And something big would be satisfying to this guy too. Charlie Culberson, another product of the Giants farm system. 1 ball and no strikes. Lyles, the pitcher, is on deck. That's out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, we were talking a little bit about Petit's consecutive batter record. He retired 46 batters in a row, including the first 8 today. That sets the major league record in that category. But he did it as a reliever. It was over 8 separate games. Sometimes 2 innings, sometimes 1 inning, as many as 4 1/3 out of relief, and then finally back as a starting pitcher the day that he ties and breaks the record. The records that he broke today, the National League record and the Major League record, were from starting pitchers. There's a foul out of play. Both Jim Barr and Mark Buehrle did it in 2 games as starters. Buehrle had a perfect game, and he had also retired the final batter of the start before that, and then he retired 17 in a row in his next start.
Well, there's the top 8 guys, and you ask yourself, well, is it harder for a relief pitcher, or is it harder for a starter? Petit's the only relief guy that's done it. Well, granted, he's having a start today, but he's been primarily a swingman, and I mean, it may be harder for a relief guy.
Bobby Jenks, who tied Barr's record, although he was an American League closer at the time, and but it's a pretty good accomplishment one way or the other, however you do it.
Yeah, well, you think about it, relievers got to go out there to amass, that many consecutive hitters. That's a lot of different appearances. You have to have a lot of great stuff in a lot of different for a longer period of time than you do a starter. For the most part, a starter does it in 2 starts.
2-2. A pop-up foul. Posey coming over, but it reaches back into the crowd. 2-2. I think that's an excellent point, though. When you're a reliever, you have good days and bad days. This stretch of the 46 straight hitters retired lasted for more than a month by Yusmeiro Petit. So
amazing.
The odds are not great that he's going to have his best stuff every one of those outings.
Well, and the record really backs up the point, because there's never been a reliever who's been in the top 8, let alone being at the top where Petit put himself today. Except for Bobby Jenks, the one exception.
2-2 pitch, and that's fouled back and out of play. And even Jenks was primarily a guy, he was a closer. He came in for 1 inning at a time.
That might even be more impressive that you're going out there 2 1 inning stints.
2-2 the count.
So I was bypassing Bobby Jenks there, Bobby. I apologize.
But I'm glad we even had the chance just to bring up the name of Jim Barr, who was a Giant for many, many years. Still lives in Northern California.
My old roommate.
That's the strikeout. The second time Petit has struck out Culberson, and he's got 7 strikeouts.
The breaking ball we're talking about right there, John. That's the one that we've really been impressed with this last month, when he's had this amazing run of consistency. Watch the way that he snaps the curveball, and then the very quick little break. It's not a big break on it. It's a straight down biter, and he just shaves the strike zone to both lefties and righties. He can go in and out. Nice pitch.
Lyles called a strike. Lyles broke up the streak. He was the first guy that in more than a month to get a hit or even reach base against Yusmeiro Petit. So just after he had broken the record, Lyles followed that with a double deep to left field. Hello. 1 ball, 1 strike. The last guy to get a hit against him was Marlon Byrd back on July 22nd when he doubled home a run in Philly. That was the night the Giants used 9 pitchers in a 14-inning game, a game they won. Two and 1. Now, there's another question today about Petit, because he's been working as a reliever now for more than a month and for most of the season. I asked Bruce Bochy how far you think he could go today. And Bochy pointed to the 4 1/3 inning game he had last Saturday in Washington out of the bullpen. And that one misses. Now it's 3-1. And he said that was just 2 days after he pitched those 2 perfect innings in Chicago. And he feels it should not be any kind of a stretch for Petit to be able to go 90 to 100 pitches today. So,
yeah, I think he's definitely got that kind of strength in his arm. He's worked hard to keep it there. That's another thing it's very difficult to do as a swingman.
Strike 2.
When you think about it, if you're a long reliever, if you have a good rotation like the Giants have here, and there'll be times when a long reliever won't get into a game for 8 or 9 days. But when you get the call and a starter gets knocked out in the 3rd, you're expected to throw 50, 60 pitches. Or if you have to make a spot start, you're expected to throw 80. You have to keep that strength in your arm, and that's not an easy thing to do.
There goes the runner, and a foul back out of play.
You know, they talk about the toughest game of baseball being a pinch hitter. When you're not getting 4 consecutive at-bats in a start, you're getting 4 at-bats in a week, and they all come in different times. Tough to keep a rhythm, tough to keep a strike zone. Well, I think that the swingman, the long reliever, is just as hard.
Jackson Williams runs, and strike 3. 8 strikeouts in 5 innings from Yusmeiro Petit. Susac, then Duffy, then Petit coming up. 2-1 Giants.
area is brought to you by the Solar Company. Not just any solar company. The Solar Company. Switch to solar and save.
And there's a great look at the South Beach Marina. Just out beyond left field here at AT&T Park. Beautiful spot in downtown San Francisco. The home of the Giants. I'm John Miller with Mike Krukow, Dwayne Kuiper over. We've sent him on assignment to the radio booth until the 7th inning. Then he'll be assigned back here. And Dave Fleming's on assignment today doing college football. Although he's there today, but the game isn't until tomorrow.
Well, it's in Connecticut, so he had to kind of get there a day ahead, acclimate, do some homework.
Dave is going. He's going by a bicycle to that particular game. It's a good workout for him. Here is Susac. He's got sort of a little Buster Posey looking stance here, didn't he? A little pop up. Third baseman Arenado shading the eyes with the glove. Makes the catch.
Well, if you're going to copy somebody, Buster Posey's not a bad guy to copy. You see a lot of guys doing the Posey stance now. You know, slightly in a little slight squat. Relaxes that bat over his shoulder. Right now, we're going to take a look at our AT&T U-verse rewind. Last night, Duffy turns a 6-4 3-double play in the 9th inning. Absolute defensive gem. He hits him low in the heel, and he really uses his top hand to bring that ball in and get the job done. That's our AT&T U-verse rewind.
Matt Duffy, Giants rookie, and he was victimized on a sensational Nolan Arenado play in the 2nd inning. He had 2 hits last night and a walk. And Lyles in the dirt with that sinker. Duffy scored the Giants' first run in last night's game as he hit a 1-out double in the 4th inning, and eventually he scored on the safety squeeze bunt by Blanco. Excellent base running as well. There to field it is LeMahieu. Out number 2.
Tried to come up early.
And here comes Petit.
By the way, John, I just got a text message from Jim Barr, and he said congratulations to Yusmeiro Petit.
Wow.
Jim watching today thinks it's pretty cool that his name gets brought up to something that he's been very proud of, that he's held for a long time in the National League, but he gladly gives the crown to Petit. And a very sincere congratulations from Jim Barr. I thought that was pretty cool.
And I love the story of Jack Buck telling him what he had done, and he wasn't quite sure. I did what? What? Could you explain that to me? What did I do?
Well,
1 ball, 1 strike to Petit. Who was a better hitter, Barr or Petit?
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. Have you ever seen anybody who's as bad a hitter as Petit?
Jim Barr was a better hitter. You got to protect your roomie at all times.
Petit 0 for 15 this year with 9 strikeouts.
Yeah, Hideki Irabu.
2-2 the count. All right, so he's probably better than Hideki Irabu. And that's not saying much for him. Well, look at that. He got a piece of it.
But, you know, we watch him at batting practice, and you know, he's got talent. His batting practice sessions are good. And you can always tell him. He gets the bunt downs. He hits behind the runners. He gets a fly ball when they need a fly ball. They run the situation in pitcher's batting practice, and he's perfect in all those. However,
then again, as he strikes out for the 2nd time. Top of the order coming up against Petit in the 6th.
photo contest. It is brought to you by AT&T. You need to tweet us your photo, hashtag CSNBA fan photo. Include your name and hometown. All right, I am going to admit it, guys. I rigged it today because Ron Wotus, the Giants bench coach, had this great photo. It is his family in Italy representing the Giants. So, yep, I tweeted it for him because Ron doesn't tweet himself. We thought it was pretty awesome. We love when we go international, guys.
Altamura, Italy. Ben.
Have you ever been there?
No. I've been to Rome. I've been to the Pizza Ray.
Good?
Oh. I've been to Florence. I've been to Genoa. And that's about. I've been to Little Italy in New York.
I've been to Bakersfield.
It's a big Italian population there, is there?
Well, I had good pizza.
And there's ball 1 to Charlie Blackmon. We're in the 6th inning. It's a 2-1 game as Jeremy Affeldt goes down to the Giants bullpen now. After Blackmon, you've got the right-handed hitting LeMahieu and then the lefty, Morneau. The big hitters coming up for Colorado here in the 6th. That is foul down the right field line. Blackmon knocked in the Colorado run with a 2-out bloop single to left in the 3rd. Blackmon is hitting .289 for the year. It's a Colorado team. You look at the hitters in the lineup. You got Blackmon .289, Morneau leading the league in hitting .316, Arenado .303, Dickerson .316. Now some of that is, of course, they play in one of the great hitters ballparks of all time, Coors Field. But for instance, Morneau hitting .320 on the road. He's hit a little bit better for batting average on the road than he's hit at Coors Field.
You can't ever feel sorry for Colorado not having enough offense. You know, I read something the other day that I just had to shake my head at.
Just got a piece of it.
And they're talking about the no-hitter that Clayton Kershaw threw against Colorado, and then the near-perfect game that Madison Bumgarner threw on Tuesday night of this 4-game series. He went up with a one-hit shutout. And they're saying, well, it's Colorado. And granted, they don't have Carlos Gonzalez, and they don't have Troy Tulowitzki, and they don't have Michael Kadire. But these guys can bang. It's a hitting organization. You no-hit these guys. You one-hit these guys. You've done something well as a pitcher.
1-2 the count. Pence. 1 away.
You can't downplay the accomplishment because of anything you've done in Colorado. They can hit. Well, this Friday, AT&T Park is hosting a Pacquiao-Algieri fight media event. You can purchase a special event package that includes early entry to the private media event with Manny Pacquiao and Chris Algieri from 12:45 to 1:15 p.m., a collector's edition fight poster, and a Giants Brewers game ticket. Also, check out the VIP tent in Triples Alley, as it will include an exclusive roundtable chat with the fighters. Go to sfgiants.com/special events.
LeMahieu, strike 1 called. 2-1 Giants. Petit. Ordinarily, you'd say a very economical use of pitches. Only 77 pitches thrown, with 1 out here in the 6th. But he's been pitching mostly in relief. Going back is Blanco in left center. He's got plenty of room. 2 down. It's funny, LeMahieu's a great big guy. He's 0 for 3 in this game. What is he, 6'4", 6'5"? One of the biggest, tallest second basemen in the game. But he now has 408 actual at-bats, official at-bats. He got 4 homers and 12 doubles. He's a singles hitter.
Yeah, 6'4", 205-pounder. And when we first saw him come up, we thought that's what he was going to be. We thought he had power and that he would be the type of guy that would put up 15, 25 home runs. Hasn't happened.
And you call a guy a singles hitter, and your immediate response would be, well, wait a minute. Maybe he doesn't hit home runs, but he's a line drive hitter. He hits doubles and whatnot. No, he just hits singles. He got 12 doubles and 408 at bats. But he is one of the best defensive second basemen. Those defensive metrics show him getting to a huge number of balls, turning him into outs. And the Giants have firsthand knowledge of that. He He's victimized many a Giant this year with his glove. Morneau, meanwhile, did you see the item said that the Milwaukee Brewers claimed him on waivers, but they were not able to make a deal with the Rockies to acquire him. So the Rockies, I guess, pulled him back. That is called strike 3, and that is 6 strong in the books for Petit. 9 strikeouts. Top of the order, Pregame coming up.
Is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers, offering business and personal insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. Visit us at hefins.com and by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
On a spectacular San Francisco summer's day, we're at AT&T Park where the Giants lead the Rockies 2-1 as we go to the last of the 6th inning. And a lot of no-shows on this glorious day here at AT&T Park. We were told that the games in this series have had the highest numbers of no-shows to each game of any games at AT&T Park this year. Here's a called strike to Pregame. Pregame has hit one back to the pitcher, and he has singled with Panic and Posey to follow. That's out of play. By the way, a 10-pitch 6th inning for Petit. He's at 81 pitches for the game, and now Machi is warming up in the bullpen. And I think the bullpen is set up nicely for these last 3 innings. The normal course of things for the Giants. There is Machi. So we'll see if the bullpen's coming in for the 7th inning or not. 1-2, Jordan Lyles on the mound. He's pitched well. The Giants got 2 against him in the 2nd. A single by Pablo Sandoval, and then later a 2-run homer by Blanco to right field up onto the arcade down the line. Those are the only Giants runs. They have only 3 hits against Lyles. Right up the middle. And Pregame has 2 of the now 4 hits for the Giants.
Both hits right back up the middle for Pregame. Nice. Well, time to log on to csnbayarea.com and decide the player of the game. Your vote counts. Winners will be revealed during Giants postgame live. You can follow the action of the Diamond like never before with enhanced Bloomberg stats and more. Giants in-game live on csnbayarea.com. Log on right now and vote.
Joe Panic has hit one back to the pitcher, and he is also lined out to right. He's 0 for 2. Panic has been hurting for hits here lately since that 4-hit game in Washington on Friday. That's a called strike. It's only 2 for his last 17.
He's kind of hitting a little hard luck right now. Good at bat, his second at bat, hit a bullet to right field. Charlie Blackmon took it away. If you think about game 1 of this series, when he came up late in a row. They absolutely needed a hit, and he hit a bullet to right. I mean, it was late in the game. It was a good at bat.
There goes Pagan. And a high throw, and he's in there.
Not sure what kind of grip that Williams had. Nice jump from Pagan. Just a high throw, and for a guy who has a great reputation as a catcher and a thrower, you know he wants to come up big against his former team, but I don't know what kind of grip he had. Giants runner in score position. Thank you very much.
So now Panic. He'd like to knock him in, but he, at the very least, as the number 2 hitter, he's got to get him over to third. 2-1.
Well, it immediately becomes a strikeout situation now for Lyles. Runner at second, nobody out. But it's not your normal strikeout situation because of who's on deck. Because of that, you're going to see Lyles get in that strike zone. He can't nibble to the point where he winds up walking Panic.
Well, it was dropped by Williams. Then he kicked it. Pagan. Never able to take off for third, though. Now Williams out to chalk to Lyles.
Well, I think he's kind of saying, look, you can't give up this walk here. We got a base, an open bag. You can't be wasting this thing with Panic. He's got to swing the bat. If we're going to use that open base, we're going to use it for the guy on deck. So let's go. You got to get in the strike zone and get in there with something good. He's looking right in the eye. And those are the things that managers look for when young catchers get to the big leagues. You cannot have a catcher that's timid. It is not afraid to go out there and bark at a pitcher, regardless of how many years he's got in the big leagues. You need a catcher to take charge, and I like that from Williams.
Leadoff single by Pagan. Now he's at second after the steal. And it's a 3-1 count to Panic with nobody out. Posey is on deck. 6th inning. And he does walk him.
That's a mistake. And it wasn't even close.
Now Nolan Arenado comes over to the mound to say something to Lyles, and also LeMahieu comes in as Buster gets comfortable in the batter's box. Somebody would like a birthday present from Buster. So there is Lyles, and he's in a tight spot. That, oddly enough, with Buster coming up, that's the first walk he's allowed today. You're supposed to get pitches to hit when Buster Posey's coming up next. It's supposed to work that way.
And even though there's an empty third base, that does not mean there's an open base situation. It doesn't exist unless there's 2 outs.
0-1. He's gotten Buster to ground out a couple of times. Maybe that's what he told Jackson Williams. Oh, that guy? I handle that guy.
Well.
Pablo Sandoval on deck. 0-1 the count. Deep right field. Blackman right in front of the number 2 archway. Pagan tags up at second and moves over to third. Panic back to first.
So at the very least, they do get 90 feet out of it with Pagan moving up. And that's the beautiful thing about being one of the big guys. I mean, you can hit a fly ball deep enough to do what a bunt does. And on occasion, you're going to hit it off the wall or over the wall.
So here is Pablo, who has singled and scored a run and has grounded out to third. And a fly ball would get a run home here. Decently hit. You got a speedy runner at third. Pablo hitting .285 for the year. And he's swinging from his stronger side. Pablo came into the game hitting more than 100 points higher as a left-handed hitter than a right-handed hitter. Big hole open on the right side. Morneau on the bag with Panic. Ball 1.
You would think that Lyles would be a good match for Sandoval because just about everything he throws has downward movement on it. And he uses that knee-high location a lot, and that favors Sandoval.
Look out. Into the stands in a hurry just behind the Giants dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, that ball was down. It wasn't exactly over the plate. A ball and a strike to Pablo Sandoval. The middle infield, double play depth. Culberson at short, LeMahieu at second. That bends him back. 2-1. Great opportunity here for the Giants to lengthen their lead with Pagan at third and Panic at first. 1 out. The Rockies would love to get the double play grounded to end the inning. Pablo's job, get that runner home from third at least. Hunter Pence is on deck. Well, Pablo chases that high one that time, fouling it back into the crowd.
And as long as he does that, he's still, he's always going to see pitches up above the shoulders from opposing pitchers. I mean, he just is. I mean, this swing right here goes into the report of every scout that's at the game. It's nothing new. I mean, he's got a big zone. He'll swing from balls at the top of his shoulders to the top of his shoes.
Two. Well, he was not tempted on that one. He might have been tempted.
He was thinking about it.
Even now, he's probably saying to himself, you know, I think I could hit that one.
Oh, man, why'd I let that one go?
So now it's 3-2. We'll keep an eye on Paddock. Paddock may take off here from first base.
I would be surprised if he didn't.
There he goes. And it's a walk. Second walk of the inning allowed by Lyles. And with 1 out, the bases are loaded for Hunter Pence.
86 pitches here in the 6th inning. Still no activity. And now all of a sudden we're going to get some bodies heading down. It's going to be Matt Belisle cranking it up for the Rockies in their bullpen.
Now this is going to take a while. Walt Weiss walking. Oh, look at that. He's speeding it up.
He usually has the slowest walk from the dugout to the mound of any manager in baseball.
Like his legs are killing him when he heads out there. So Hunter Pence coming up against Jordan Lyles. Petit, who broke the record for most consecutive batters retired back in the 3rd inning of this game. Once Susac threw out Culberson, it was official. 46 consecutive hitters, the longest such stretch in Major League history. And Petit is at the top of that list right now. So here is Hunter Pence with the bases loaded. 1 out. Well, Pence chasing that cutter away. It's kind of skimmed right off the very end of his bat. Chasing a bad one.
Last 9 games, though, he's been putting up good numbers, 11 for 34. And when he gets hot, he hits them line to line. He uses the whole field. And that's kind of how the defense is playing him. A lot of respect in the way they set it up.
It was just a little bit low.
Quality pitch.
And he has not been, Marvin Hudson has not been calling the low strike the way some other members of his crew had been earlier in the series. Pence hitting .333 with runners in scoring position. He's got 4 grand slams in his career. Check swing just off the corner. So 2-1. And Lyles looked like he was not happy with that call.
Well, it's been consistent all day long. Neither pitcher has gotten that outside corner. Just has not been very big.
Pagan at third, Panic at second, Sandoval at first. 1 out. 2-2.
That's a perfect little cutter out there. I mean, he's not going anywhere else but that outside corner. And his misses have not been very big. This absolutely perfect. You see the spin of the slider right on the outside corner. Pence way out front.
Pagan is tagging at third. The catch by Blackman. Pagan will score, and it's 3-1.
Great at bat. And Lyles did not give Hunter Pence a whole lot to work with. But as big and as strong as Pence is, still managed to get it out there deep enough. A lot of leg action. When he almost comes back, it touches his back foot with his front foot as he's getting ready to take his stride. Gets it done.
So Hunter Pence with his 59th RBI. That's his third sacrifice fly of the year. Pence has been hitting second or first most of the year. And you don't get nearly as many RBI chances as, say, a number 5 hitter would get. And here is Blanco. Way outside, ball 1. Gregor launched one for the first 2 giant runs in the second inning.
Right on top of the plate, a little backup slider, didn't do a whole lot. And Blanco promptly knocked it out of here. A big blow in the game for the Giants.
2-0. The last time that Blanco had hit a home run in this ballpark was the night that Matt Cain pitched a perfect game.
Every time he hits a home run, something happens historically.
The next time, the day that Yusmeiro Petit broke the all-time record for consecutive batters retired. There you see how the Rockies are playing it. The Giants have Panic at second, Pablo at first, both ready to run at the crack of the bat with 2 down. 2-0 the count. And foul back and out of play. Blanco's been popping a few home runs here lately. Most of his home runs have come fairly recently. And the wind is blowing straight out toward McCovey Cove right now. It's a pretty good wind blowing out in that direction.
Don't see Carey to that side of the field very often.
Foul tip, chased a high one, and it's 2-2.
But as we get closer to September, I mean, the weather does change. It gets hot here in San Francisco. This is traditionally the warmest month of the season, and we do see wind patterns change. Hotter it gets here, the livelier right field becomes.
You can see the pennants on the rooftop, also indicating the wind blowing out of the ballpark. This time he lays off that high one, and the count is full. Machi has been warming up throughout this half inning as Susac hoping for a turn. He's on deck. Runners ready to take off here. Panic from second, Pablo from first. Machi has been up, so almost surely we'll expect to see him in the 7th. It's 3-1 Giants. There go the runners, and he lays off. It's ball 4. That is the 3rd walk of the inning by Lyles, who had not walked anybody until this inning.
Nice at bat.
And they are loaded again now for the rookie Susac. Weiss with his pitching coach Jim Wright talking it over in the dugout. Belial is ready in the bullpen, has been for a while. Lyles, by the way, has already thrown 28 pitches in this inning. So real high stress inning for the young right-hander. Bases loaded, 2 down. Susac 0 for 2 in the game. Ball 1. It's working Hunter Pence territory there. Susac, who is hitting only .216, but he has only been up 37 times in the big leagues. He's had 2 home runs. A called strike with a fastball.
Good location there in the 1-0. That's how you take away a hitter's advantage count-wise. Location. And that was perfect.
So 30 pitches for the inning, and this will be number 100 for the game from Jordan Lyles. Here it is. At shortstop, Culberson gets the force out. LeMahieu covering. Blanco is out. The Giants get the 1 with 3 left. On to the 7th inning. Dwayne Kuiper will return from the radio side.
Toyota dealer. For the Rockies, 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. The Giants 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors. Jordan Lyles, Yusmeiro Petit hooked up. And for Petit, 9 strikeouts in 6 innings. Plus, he now has set a Major League Baseball record, retiring consecutive men in a row. Charlie Blackmon, the single in the 3rd. And Gregor Blanco, his 3rd home run of the year, a 2-run shot. That was the difference, and that's our Toyota game summary. Hey, when it's time for change, the Expedia Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. New pitcher now for San Francisco is going to be Gene Machi, the 60th time that he has come in on the year. 6-1 with a 1.60 ERA, 42 strikeouts against 13 walks and 56 in the 3rd. We are going to the top of the 7th. 3-1 Giants. Here again, Dwayne Kuiper.
All right. Thanks, Mikey. And here's Arenado. Arenado on the first pitch. Down the left field line. Blanco got it. Arenado can't believe it. He said, I want to save that for Monday.
Well, I mean, normally that ball's out of here, but with the wind blowing across field to right today, it kind of has closed up left field. And he just got AT&T'd. We know how you feel.
Pretty good Gumby shoulders. So here's Dickerson. Dickerson is 0 for 2. Pitch is wide.
Petit today, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 9 strikeouts. And you want to hear some amazing statistic. The Giants starting pitching with Peavy, Bumgarner, Hudson, and now Petit today. In these 4 starts against the Rockies, they're 30 innings pitched, 15 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 38 strikeouts. That is what your rotation strives to do today. The Rockies 15 for 101, hitting a $149 against Giants starting pitching. Dave Righetti got to be pretty happy about the efforts that his rotation has given him in this series.
Pretty happy.
You see Mark Gardner there, a 1-2 punch. Giants pitching coaches, they are fantastic.
Yep, Petit now has to throw a strike. Make that Machi. And it's high, a 4-pitch walk. So here's Barnes. Tell you what, Skipper's not wasting any time.
No, he's not. Well, he's got a rested bullpen. And that's what is another one of the residuals of a great trip through the rotation. And especially for the rotation to do what they've done this late into August when the bullpen was tired.
So here's Barnes, and Barnes takes a strike. He's struck out twice, once looking, once swinging, both against Petit, obviously. On the ground, panic. Duffy, Posey. Barnes could not have hit it any harder. And that'll end the inning. Leading by a score of 3-1. And let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
Well, gentlemen, it's too bad that MLB Tonight host Greg Amsinger didn't join the Call Kipes shot contest. He may have won. Check out last night, his imitation of Dwayne and his prediction.
All I'm saying is we might get a "it is out of here." So let's listen in live on MLB Tonight.
You get some props from the guys at MLB. That's a pretty good call. I gotta hand it to him.
Actually, it was a pretty good call to call the call.
That's what I'm talking about.
Greg Amsinger is the one who made the call. Here's Duffy, who takes a strike. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change at Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
Well, every day Matt Belial out there now for the Rockies, 57th time that he's come in.
Says lifted out to Blackman. You know, you and I played with guys, and we've sat in dugouts for years, right? And there's always a guy that makes a home run call. He's going to predict a home run 8 times a game. And then when the guy does it, he thinks that, you know, I really did something special, right? Well, I don't know how many times Greg has done that. Have you? I mean, Could have been like the 100th time that day where he's done it.
Or it could have been the only.
The only one. His reaction was, it looked like it was the only one.
First time he's done it all year.
So here's Crawford. But the guy who makes the predictions all the time, after a while, you don't even hear him anymore. Like, oh, forget it. But you get the quiet guy who makes one, and everybody lights up. Like, okay, somebody's dialing long distance.
Somebody's dialing long distance. Come in, operator.
Crawford, another again, 2.
And that is the one that you remember. Although I've seen some pretty good calls over the years. The best one I ever remember was sitting next to Dennis Lamp, who was charting one day. And Bill Buckner comes up. I was with the Cubs. And Dennis Lamp goes, watch this. And he writes home run on the chart in ink. Next pitch, whoop. Buckner goes yard.
That's pretty good.
Well, and not only that, but Barney Schultz was our pitching coach, and he did not like messy charts. So, in ink, Dennis Lamp.
A lot on the line.
Best call I ever saw.
Crawford in on his fist, and he fouls it back.
But how many times have we heard it walking around town when somebody hits a home run like Posey hit last night, when they'll say, hey, I called it.
Yeah.
And I bet they did.
Very close. Crawford takes another one, 2-2. Yeah, you guys called a few of his.
Yeah, we did.
He called a few of his.
Yes, he did.
2-2 pitch. Here it is to Crawford. And Crawford fights it off.
Belisle going right in on the hands with that fastball. You're going to see low 90s fastball with Belisle. He spots it well all around the strike zone. Curveball, slider, changeup. Give you 4 different looks. Good situational pitcher. Play way off the line at third. Take away the 5.5 hole with Arenado defending Crawford.
Got him.
Backdoor slider and a beauty.
Labor Day sale, 50% off. And you can get MLB.com at bat premium features for only $4.99. Follow every Giants game with live look-ins and all kinds of other good stuff. Download on the App Store. Sale ends soon. Visit sfgiants.com/mobile and you can do it today.
Got a good day. 2 knocks right back up the middle, both on breaking balls, and neither one of them were hangers either. He beat good pitches.
So here's the 1-1 to Pagan, and it's down low.
Has pretty good ownage over Belisle. 375 lifetime with a double.
And that's in the seats. And out of play. Hit up the middle. Belisle can't find it. Pagan's got a base hit. That's his 3rd of the game. And it'll give Joe Panik a shot.
You cannot tell me that he's not gearing up every at bat for the middle of the field. lot of guys, when they start to sense they're pulling off the ball, they just go up there with one thing in mind: bat control up the middle. And today, his reward, 3 base hits. And this one, an infield knock. And not only that, but he put a bruise on a pitcher. Hitters like that. That hit, Pagan over 300 in batting average. 301 now.
There's a call strike.
.344 on base percentage, and that's really the stat that has brought Panic up in the 2 spot. Gets on base.
And Panic lifts it foul and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Pagan with his lead. And the fastball is high, 1-2.
Yeah, he's got the big fist out. He's got his glove ready. Yeah, kid, someday you'll fill up that fist.
It looks like he's the happiest kid in the world right now. Timeout is called by either Jackson or Panic.
Now, if you were his age, how psyched do you think he would be, and you would be, to get the big fist?
Yeah, because I'd put popcorn in the big fist. Pagan goes, and that's foul down the left field line.
Well, you could eat your whole meal out of the big fist.
Good. You can have soup. Or beat up on the old man.
That's my main guy right there. Brought his glove. Got the big fist ready.
Out of play.
Very quiet upper body. When you see Panic take his swing, talk about how quiet everything about his swing is. You look at the load, very small. Upper body, not a lot of bounce. Head stays very still, small stride, lets the ball get into him deep. I mean, all the things that hitting coaches stress. Fundamentally, this kid's sound. He's got a hit built for average. A hitting style built for average, I should say.
And a base hit for Panic. And easily making it to third is Pagan. So a little 2-out rally here in the 7th.
That was not a hanger. He went down and beat a pretty good pitch. But he keeps the line moving, and he gets Posey up. Breaking ball, it drops right down the knees. It goes down. The head stays still. Watch the look he gives himself. He really sees the contact off the bat. Let the pitcher supply the power and just put a good stroke and square up the baseball and take your chances. And here he finds a hole.
So here's Posey. And a swing and a foul at home plate. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Pagan thought that maybe Buster Posey had not made contact. I wasn't sure either, but it turns out it's a foul ball. That's what you call blowing out a pair of pants.
Yeah, that's going to require a little work.
It looks like he's got a little bit of a strawberry underneath there. Yeah. Geez, I recognize those.
Yeah. Get up in the middle of the night, go get a drink of water, and have your sheets follow you. Oh, not a good feeling.
0-1 to Posey. Down low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
there's the slide and the blowout.
Oh.
And he immediately went right for it.
Oh, I just left some spin on the infield. So I'm going to foul back. 1 and 2. You can see underneath there. You can see a little slice of red. Oh,
yeah, he's bleeding. A little abrasion. Don't worry, it'll heal up by February.
1 and 2. Blocked by Jackson. 2 and 2.
Nice block there.
Buster Posey had 7 RBIs coming into this game in this series. He doesn't have one today. He's got a shot at one here with Pagan at third and Panic at first. Out of play. The one thing we've seen out of Buster Posey, Mike, the last week is much more aggressive. Early counts.
And he's been killing the inside pitch. And when he gets hot, that's what he does.
And he hooks this one foul.
Ball dudes today. Going to get a chance to talk about them. That's Clint Hawken, a rookie, and our first base ball dude. Let's take a look at Clint's effort.
You got to dive, don't you?
He just missed it.
No, you don't have to dive. That got on him pretty quick. Not your fault, Clint.
There's George Drysdale, one of our Giants investors.
2 and 2 to Buster Posey. Foul back again.
We need to get George a play. George Drysdale, our ball dude at first base. Needs a little work down there. Got the union, got his glove. All he needs is a play.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Three and 2.
And when a guy's hot, doesn't usually chase.
Three and 2. On the move will be Panic. High fly ball right field. It'll be Barnes. And Barnes will put it away to end the inning. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. It remains 3-1 Giants.
Toyota Prius, and they're all in their places with bright, smiling faces. Got the orange and black on, strap on, good attitudes. The gamer babes are here. Oh, yeah. A lot of happiness. There's Sammer with his whole family, and the twins are there.
They took over the press room.
That's a good-looking bunch, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a good-looking bunch. And when they took over for a 10-minute period, there were about 20 single people in there that said, "We're never having kids." when it's time for a change, things speedy, oil change, and when it's time for a change, think speedy oil change and auto service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts. I say that lovingly because it was so much fun to watch. Mom and Dad were scrambling, and everybody was trying to help them, and it was great.
Yep. That's kind of how you roll when you have 3 little ones. The world of perpetual commotion.
One of them was crying back here in between innings, and Mom came by and said, he wants to play some more in the water fountain.
You never know what's going to catch their eye at that age.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Jackson Williams, and it's low. 2 balls and 1 strike.
It's fun, though. I mean, that's the entertainment. You never have to turn your TV on with that bunch.
Well, the other thing is if you're with a bunch of people, you can't converse. You have no chance.
Oh, no. At least you can't converse and look them in the eye. Oof. Well, Marvin Hudson has been very consistent all day, and now Romo wants to know where that thing was. But this has not been a strike all day, and everybody who's pitched in this game with Hudson's zone has known it. But to Hudson's credit, I mean, it's been consistent.
Well, Romo didn't walk many. He just walked the leadoff hitter here in the 8th. Rutledge is going to hit. So here's Rutledge. And a strike to Rutledge. Rutledge 1 for 4 lifetime against Romo. And he comes back with a fastball, and it's 0-2.
Now he painted those last 2. First pitch slider, next pitch backdoor to that little 2-seam fastball on the outside corner to knees.
There's the big fist.
I think the police took it away.
0-2. Hit on the ground. Posey's got it. His throw perfect to Duffy. Back to Posey. Not in time.
Well, Rutledge runs pretty well. And to go 3-6-3, which is a tough double play to turn, I think it's an easy one for a guy with pretty good speed to outrun, even with the fact that Rutledge hit that ball on the nose to Posey. See the exchange. Duffy just can't get the ball over to Posey in time. So they do get the lead out.
So here's Matt McBride. See what the numbers were for McBride in Colorado Springs. First pitch, breaking ball down low.
Both managers have 4-man benches with the expanded roster or bullpens. They both have 8 men in their bullpen because of where they are in the season. Not going to be an issue come Monday when all the rosters will expand and the call-ups can join the teams as the 25-man rule is no longer in effect.
One ball and one strike.
Traditionally, Brian Sabian, one of the leading general managers in bringing call-ups up. Not uncommon to have 6, 7, 8 guys get called up.
Romo tries to run that pitch in tight. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Posey holding on. Josh Rutledge. Popped him up. Susac never saw it. Buster Posey's giving away after Susac did pick it up. 2 outs. Now nobody would know better than Buster Posey as to how difficult that play is for Andrew Susac. So he got over there as fast as he could.
Now this is the time of day that the sun becomes an issue, and for a catcher you turn around, you're looking to find the ball, and you get a big ball of sun blocking everything. Not a comfortable feeling, but you saw the exchange right after he caught it. He looked at Buster and said thanks.
So here's Blackman. Blackman is lined out to right twice, and he's knocked in the only run for Colorado with a base hit in the 3rd. And he drives this one into center field, but Pagana's waiting, and he puts it away, and that'll end the inning. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 3-1 Giants.
Time now for our Honda Player of the Game, and we think Yusmeiro Petit has earned that distinction. Why is that? Well, today he set a major league record, retiring consecutive men in a row, and that was the ball that solidified the record that he accomplished back in the 3rd inning. So we say congratulations to Yusmeiro Petit. He is our Honda Player of the Game.
And who broke up the streak? The pitcher.
Jordan Lyles.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change in Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
Juan Nicasio, the new pitcher now for Colorado, 5-6 with a 5.86 ERA. Nicasio, the losing pitcher in last night's ball game. He was the guy that threw the pitch that Posey walked off with.
Sandoval with a big swing and a foul straight back.
And it's never been a matter of stuff for Nicasio. He's got, low to mid 90s fastball with two types of movement, hard slider and a changeup. It's just a matter of location. Josh Rutledge, who pinch hit in the top of the 8th, stays in the game, plays shortstop now.
Two and one to Sandoval. Look out. 3 balls and 1 strike. The 3-1, and Sandoval takes the walk. Here's Hunter Pence. Pence had a really nice at bat in the 8th inning, picking up a sacrifice fly. First pitch strike to Hunter Pence. Gregor Blanco in the on-deck circle. Pence takes a look at another strike, and it's 0-2. So a couple of breaking balls.
Breaking ball right there. See the flags blowing out to right. Santiago Casillas starts to heat up. He will pitch the 9th.
On the ground and a base hit. Sandoval will put on the brakes. So Pence sneaks him through the right side. He does that with that high fastball away. He will poke it to right field.
Oh, nice 2-strike at bat to set up the 1st and 3rd here with nobody out.
Well, don't forget Sportsnet Central after Giants postgame live. Dave Feldman and Mindy Bach tonight. So here's Blanco. Homered, struck out, walked. And tight, 1 ball and no strikes. Susac to follow.
Well, interesting here that Luis Bochy is not giving up an out to move runners up. He's letting Blanco swing the bat, and I think that's because of what he's seen here the last week from Blanco. It's a good at bats. But you never know, he might try and bunt on his own too.
He very well could. Lifted out to left field. And that's Dickerson who makes the catch. So here's Susac. Just announcing that Pence with a 10-game hitting streak. Susac 0 for 3. Duffy on deck, 1 out, 2 on. A walk and a single and a fly ball to left. Susac waits on Nicasio. And a base hit to left field. And here comes Sandoval. He's going to score. Pence easily to third. Stopping at first is Susak, and it's 4-1.
Susak not waiting around, getting that first pitch challenge fastball. Ninth RBI of the year for Andrew Susak. High leg kick, get that thing down, and there's the cookie right out there, T-ball location, and he did not let that slip by. Just rakes it to left field.
Well, how many times do we say that first pitch might be the best pitch?
Certainly it was in that instance.
So here's Matt Duffy. And Duffy takes a strike. Duffy's 0 for 3.
I always like to see young hitters when they got an 0 for 3 going as to how they grind that fourth at bat. What their approach is. You saw what Susak's was. He was going to jump on the first fastball he could see. Here, Duffy just got painted twice and he's in an 0-2 hole. Now you make your 2-strike adjustment. And he's been very good about hitting the ball back up the middle, especially in 2-strike scenarios. Fly ball situation here.
In the dirt. Pence thought about it, but it crawled up the line.
A breaking ball scud way out in front of home plate comes up. Talk about how well that Jackson Williams has blocked today, and here's another example of it. Really tucked that chin into his chest protector beautifully, and as a result that ball stayed out in front of him, and that's what froze Hunter Pence. And just like that, with that ball in the dirt, that brings the infield in, changes everything.
Big chopper. Arenado's got it. He's going to come home, and out at the plate is Pence. So nice play by Arenado. And that goes 5-2.
Boy, the throw had to be perfect, and it was. There's a nice high throw up there.
They're going to
See if there was a lane. If they block the plate off, this is what Bruce Bochy's going to contend. And I think he's got an argument.
He might.
It's become such a sensitive rule that it gets challenged every time. And Ron Woda say, why not? It's the 8th inning. What do we have to lose? Let's challenge. So remember, Jackson Williams, this is his 4th day at the big league level. I mean, he hasn't seen how sensitive it has been in the big leagues this year in regards to blocking off that plate.
This replay review is presented by Xfinity.
Was there enough lane there? And one thing that we have come to believe once the play goes back to New York for examination, you don't know.
I mean, look, technically there was not a lane there. But is there enough for this to be changed? Probably not.
I would say that it's a 20% chance it gets, maybe less, but 20% chance it gets changed. But if you're Bruce Bochy, what do you have to lose? And this is definitely going to be a part of the rule that gets re-examined this offseason. And it may even get re-examined in the month of September prior to the playoffs. Remember, this is the first year for replay, and there are a few kinks in it.
So the play stands, and Ishikawa is going to hit.
And I think that's it, as it should be. It is the one ruling, though, that absolutely causes managers to lose their mind when it gets overruled. And that I find entertaining.
Yes. So here's Ishikawa. And Ishikawa with a nice swing. Stay tuned for the post-game wrap. That's going to happen in just a bit. Mike will also talk about the game with Murph and Mac tomorrow morning on KMBR 680. Foul back, 0-2. So a couple of good swings by Ishikawa. Susak is at third. At first is Duffy, who reached on the fielder's choice. And the pitch, and it's very high, 1-2. Defense set up pretty much straight away. The exception is off the line at third is Arenado and the 1-2. And Ishikawa takes a close pitch, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2. Little flare. Coming in is Dickerson, and he'll make the catch to end the inning. Giants add a run. We'll go to the 9th. 4-1 San Francisco.
Milwaukee Brewers, first of a 3-game series. It'll be Ryan Vogelsong on the hill taking on right-hander Willie Peralta tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Pregame live at 6:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Game 1 of the series. Complete game coverage every night on Sportsnet Central and CSNBayArea.com with Giants insider Andrew Bagger. The home of your Giants is right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
Here's DJ LeMahieu facing Santiago Casilla.
See the numbers for Casilla, 2-3 with a 1.71 ERA. He had a blown save last night, gave up a run, and it took him a while to find the strike zone early in the inning.
And here he splits the middle of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Morneau and then Arenado. This is the right spot in this lineup if the Rockies want to get back in this one. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Now the Rockies have to feel pretty confident in this ballpark. Back in June, they had 3 comebacks, 3 blow and save opportunities by Giants bullpen, and they had a comeback in last night's ball game.
Two and two.
And this is not a Rockies offense that doesn't have a little swagger offensively. That kind of goes with putting on the uniform. Been that way since they opened up in 1993. It's a hitting organization. And I do believe the run the Giants got in the bottom of the 8th was a big run in the mind of Santiago Casilla.
That's popped out of play.
Got a nice play. Caught it, got a nice hug.
Two and two. And a full count.
So this becomes a big pitch for Casilla. Simply because of what happened last night. Now you have to have the ability to manufacture confidence a little differently as a reliever than a starter. And in general, it's good to get back on the hill after you've had a blow and save like he had last night the next day. But that's not going to do much for his confidence.
So here's Morneau. Morneau doubled in the tying run last night off of Casilla. Got a good pitch.
Well, it was a get it in count, 2-0. He had count leverage and goes inside out, opposite gap. Beautiful at bat.
Of course, it doesn't hurt to have that guy at first base either in Stubbs. Outside to Morneau, 1 ball and no strikes.
You can see it. Nibbling at the strike zone.
Yeah, Bruce Bochy's going to get the bullpen going. Hit well. Blanco with room. 1 out.
Another good opposite field at bat. Just found the glove.
So here's Arenado.
A little anger right here. Snagging it with the bare hand.
A little meeting with himself. It's not always such a bad idea. Here's Arenado. Strike at the knee.
Well, the guy who's going to have the least patience is going to be yourself.
Off the end of the bat, 0-2.
Nice tight little slider. But it is a tough thing if you're a reliever and you got to walk back in that clubhouse and look at that starter. And knowing that you blew a save and you cost that guy a win. And that was the case last night with Tim Hudson, who had 8 beautiful innings. It wound up being a workout for Hudson. But it's part of the deal. Everybody knows it.
Out of play.
And I think as a relief pitcher, you can't ever say you're sorry. You just can't do it. Starting pitcher knows it. Whole team knows it. But you got to mentally wipe it clean and get ready for the next one. And here he is, less than 24 hours later, trying to nail down another save. That's the job.
Arenado pops it up. Duffy calling and catching, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Corey Dickerson. Dickerson is 0 for 2. Dickerson taking his time with the batting gloves. Now he gets in. Garcia throws. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. So if you're not the tying run, just try to hit one out of the park.
Why not? Trying to put that thing across the bay. Oh, my word.
Trying to hit it to the Oakland Coliseum. No balls and 1 strike. LeMahieu with his lead. In the dirt. Susac backhands it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Giants will take on the Brewers tomorrow night. The Rockies are headed to Arizona. Brewers are in town. Brewers had a great night out in the town last night. How about that?
Day off in San Francisco?
Not a bad city to have a day off.
That's a good day off right there.
Out of play.
Well, the Giants go on to win this ball game, and they'll take a head of steam into the Brewers, which is what you have to do today.
Absolutely.
The Brewers are a good team.
Brewers are starting to hear some footsteps, so you know they're going to be ready to go tomorrow night. It's a ball and 2 strikes to Corey Dickerson. On the ground to Buster Posey. Buster will take it himself, and that's the ball game. So the Giants, after the tough loss on Monday, they come back and do what they really had to do. Beat a team that struggled on the road, and they take the next 3.
Well, and really the starting pitching has been the strength of this club since they've opened up this homestand. But good defense, too. They're playing good ball, and they have to have that confidence going into the next series against the Brewers. And they did what they had to do here after losing the first game. And they have to be feeling pretty good about themselves tonight.
Giants now with 71 wins on the season. All right, final score here at AT&T Park. Giants 4, Rockies 1. Esurance Giants postgame live with interviews, and the wrap is coming up. But first, let's go to the Sportsnet Central studio.